Hello everyone, back again with another deck preview. Today we're going to be going over what I call Kor Light-paws. It's a aura enchantment themed deck featuring a lot of card draw whenever we're playing auras. We're kind of focused around these three right here as our main creatures. Kor Spiritdancer, Light-paws, Emperor's Voice, and SRAM, the Senior Edificer. Just go over the cards list here real quick. So we've got 4 Ethereal Armor and 3 Gryff's Boon. Ethereal Armor giving us +1 for each enchantment we control and first strike. Gryff's Boon is giving us +1 and flying, and as well as we can play it from our graveyard for 4. We have Radiant Grace. This is a fun one that gives +1/+0 in vigilance, but if the creature dies, it comes back transformed, enchanting our opponent, essentially making their creatures enter the battlefield tapped. Sentinel Eyes we're running 2 of. It's an enchant creature for +1/+1 and vigilance. The other nice part is, once again, we can play this from our graveyard by exiling 2 other cards. The theme here with being able to play things from the graveyard is that very commonly you get your enchanted creatures targeted by removal. You want to be able to recover from that as fast as possible. We're running 3 Skrelv's Deflector Might, actually using this mostly as a defensive spell. It does have Toxic 1, but its big bonuses here are being able to pay the Phyrexian mana to give a creature hexproof from any color of our choice, as well as they can't be blocked. So there are some matchups where being able to use that as a way to punch through if your opponent's going really wide, or they have creatures too big for you, late game against some white decks, you run into that. So it just gives you a way to kind of get through there. Hateful Eidolon, running 3 of this guy. It's a lifelink 1/2, but whenever a creature that's enchanted dies, we get to draw a card for each aura attached to that creature. This works for our opponent's enchanted creatures as well as our own. It has a little fun play-in with Mogi's Favor here, which we're also running 3 of. This gives an enchanted creature +1/-1, or +2/-1, and escape for 3, so we can play it from our graveyard by exiling 2 cards from our graveyard. The fun thing happens there is if you can use this to kill an early game 1/1 creature, and if Hateful Eidolon is out when you do that, then you get to draw a card off of it. 3 of the Kaya's Ghost form. This is giving us just another way to keep our creatures on the board, so you can enchant a creature or planeswalker you control, and when it dies or is put into exile, which is very useful against white decks, return that card to the battlefield under your control, so it just comes right on back in. For All That Glitters, enchantment similar to Ethereal Armor, just costs 1 more, just gives us another instance of this, so we get +1 for each artifact or enchantment that we control. For the Kor Spiritdancer, she's the big show winner here when it comes to getting big damage. She gets +2/+2 for each aura attached to it, and whenever you cast an aura spell, you get to draw a card. Light-paws is the next big show runner. Doesn't get the +2, but whenever an aura enters the battlefield under your control, if you cast it, you can search your library for an aura card with mana value less than or equal to the aura and with a different name than each aura you control. So that's why we're running a lot of different names of things. So whenever Light-paws is out, that allows us to search up for multiple enchantments every time we play one. So usually fun to have Kor out first, Light-paws second, and then when you start targeting Kor and with your enchantments to make her bigger, Light-paws is intrinsically getting bigger as well. And there's some clever ways you can do that by always casting an enchantment and then searching with Light-paws for an enchantment that you already have in your hand, so that you can play that one and increase the amount of enchantments you can get on Light-paws before you run out of names. 2 Rune of Sustenance. This just gives us a lifelink on the enchanted creature, but it also gives us a card draw whenever it enters the battlefield. So once again, just keeping the hand full and keeping us moving. 3 of the SRAM, Senior Edificer. This is the lightweight version of Light-paws and Kor Spiritdancer, but it still gives us another creature that draws us cards whenever we play a spell. Running 8 planes, 4 Bright Climb Pathways, 4 Concealed Courtyards, 4 Godless Shrines, and 4 Isolated Chapels. 64 cards total. We're running 4 extra on the mana, just because in Arena it feels like I get better mana that way. So that's the deck. Let's jump in and play around. Jamin Collins. What's a jam, buddy? Decent rollout. Hello. How are you doing today? Gonna make some artifacts and make them big. A lot. That's a lot on turn 2. Proud of you. Pull back the attack so we can use Skrelv as a defense if we need it. Yes, the Smith, he's so big. Gotta take it on the chin. But if we can get some lifelink going this turn. Grab that Rune of Sustenance, draw a card. Protect her. Keep it as a blocker. Keep it as a block. So far we haven't seen any evidence that they have removal. Not that they don't. Sure, I'll find out in a very sad way if they do. Yeah, we got 12/12 lifelink. With Vigi. Let's go. Oh, you're gonna turn it into a 4/4 after you block? We see that coming. We see that coming. Good job. Good for you. Stop my life gain. Oh, I can still block with it. It's only getting bigger next turn. Have your Shadow Spear. Nothing? No attacks? You don't want to swing into my 12/12? How cute. Extra protection on board. Thank you very much. We will take another. Oh, and we got the concede. And there you have it. You can see how quickly it can grow. You can bring things back when they get destroyed. It's a fun deck. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I know I did.